Joyboy has officially arrived in Elbaf, and Sanji is finally awakening his Conqueror's Haki. One Piece. Chapter 1187 is an absolute masterpiece, and we need to break it all down right now. This week's chapter is titled Ringleader. The cover request is pretty wild, showing Reiju protecting a black duck that literally has Sanji's eyes and hairstyle. She's defending it from her brothers and her father, who all have the exact same eyes, hairstyles, and helmets as the Vinsmoke family and Judge. Chapter 1187 picks up right in the middle of the massive war in Elbaf, immediately after Luffy slammed Emu with that devastating punch at the end of the last chapter. The impact sent Emu's body flying way back, but that mysterious ruler hasn't gone down yet. Even before hitting the ground, Emu instantly summons two bizarre creatures made of living black fire known as Omen. At the same time, Loki, who is still standing on the battlefield, admits that Luffy's attack was incredible. However, he feels the punch only worked because he had already injured Emu beforehand. But Loki's own condition is completely brutal. His body is covered in serious wounds from his long battle against the highest authority of the world government. Luffy tells Loki to step back and rest, but like always, the giant prince immediately refuses. His pride absolutely will not let him abandon the battle. Right in the middle of their conversation, Emu's two living black fires suddenly attach themselves to Luffy and Loki's bodies. Luffy is caught off guard because the sensation is super weird. The fire doesn't feel hot. Instead, it causes a piercing, stabbing pain. Meanwhile, Loki realizes that the fire is slowly starting to spread all over his body. Shortly after, Emu gets back up. Despite taking a massive hit, Emu flies right back toward the two opponents as if taking zero damage. Even Luffy admits that seeing Emu up close makes them look way more terrifying than before. Meanwhile, the black fire attached to Loki is actually alive. The two Omens start talking to each other, stating that they need to head straight for Loki's chest, right where he took that sword stab wound earlier. The fire slowly creeps toward the wound. At the exact same time, Emu makes a hand motion, forming a circle with their fingers and peeks through the gap. Inside that circle, a tiny black flame appears and transforms into a brand new demonic sword. This technique is called Stigma, or Onmaken, which literally translates to the Vengeful Demon Sword. The black fire sword shoots straight at Loki's chest, stabbing right into the living fire attached to the giant prince. Luckily, a split second before the attack launched, Luffy leaped out of the way. But Loki wasn't that lucky. His body is instantly blasted back with unbelievable force, crashing straight into the giant block of ice where Gunkko, or Princess Shuri, was frozen. Cutting over to another spot, Nami, Jinbe, Frankie, and Usopp are still desperately trying to free Gunkko from the ice. Nami keeps blasting her lightning, while Jinbe and Frankie help push the massive ice block, but it's completely useless. The ice won't budge an inch. Frankie even figures that this material might be as hard as a diamond. Usopp is still confused because, theoretically, ice is just frozen water. But when they touch it, the temperature is way colder than normal ice. Then, out of nowhere, Loki's flying body crashes hard right into the ice block. The whole Straw Hat Squad is totally shocked. They're even panicking that Loki's giant hammer Ragnir might fall and crush them. What's even more concerning is the massive hole in Loki's chest, leaving them wondering if the prince can even survive this. At the same time, Ragnir transforms back into a tiny squirrel, looking super stressed out about his master's condition. But that crazy impact actually triggered something unexpected. The ice behind Loki starts to melt and Gunkko is finally freed from her frozen prison. Back to Luffy, he's still dealing with the threat of Emu's black fire. The flame that previously marked Loki shifts over and attaches itself right onto Luffy's jacket. Realizing the danger, Luffy instantly tosses his jacket away. And sure enough, seconds later, Emu's demon sword shoots straight at the jacket. Luffy's quick thinking totally saved him from a fatal hit. The chapter then shifts over to the Elbaf port. Zoro has finally arrived at the exact spot where Saint Summers is. Summers is seen watching the repaired ship that's about to be used to transport the kids previously kidnapped by Killingham. The tension between the two instantly skyrockets. Zoro realizes that Summers is one of the three demons posing a massive threat to Elbaf. On the flip side, Summers looks completely chill. He actually thinks everything is already over, because his partner is about to bring the kids to the ship. But Zoro isn't fazed at all. He drops the cold, hard truth. Another Straw Hat member is already heading to the village where Killingham is. And according to Zoro, the guy Summers is waiting for is never coming back. Why? Because Sanji is going to kill him. That statement shows Zoro's absolute, undeniable faith in his crewmate's strength. Summers just laughs it off, thinking it's straight up impossible for him to be defeated. He believes that the immortal status of the God Knights puts them way above ordinary humans. Now, a massive all-out fight between these two is absolutely unavoidable. Meanwhile, in the West Village, Sanji finally arrives and sees the chaos firsthand. Heavy rain is pouring down over the whole area, like the sky of Elbaf itself has been ripped apart by the madness. In the middle of the downpour, Sanji starts analyzing the situation. A giant monster, way bigger than regular giants, is carrying away the Elbaf kids. But weirdly enough, Sanji decides not to save them directly. Not because he doesn't care, but because he knows the giant warriors will absolutely never give up on their children. The next issue is MMA Zaza, the female monster helping with the kidnapping. Since Sanji's golden rule is to never hurt a woman, he absolutely refuses to interfere in a fight against her. But there's one thing he just can't ignore. He cannot stand seeing mothers crying over losing their kids. And more than anything, Sanji knows exactly who the mastermind behind all this chaos is. Because of that, he charges straight at Killingham, calling him out as the main culprit for everything. The chapter's title, Ringleader, is actually a direct reference to Killingham. Sanji makes it completely clear that even if the giants lost track of him, Killingham is not getting away from him. Killingham just laughs it off. He explains that there is a massive difference between being strong and being immortal. It's true that if he gets defeated, the power he created will also vanish, but he completely doubts that Sanji can take down the guy known as the Rain God. Killingham then orders the monster to keep taking the Elbaf kids away. Right in the middle of the standoff, Sanji drops a bombshell. He already knows the weakness of the God Knights. Not just Killingham, but their entire group. Hearing this, Killingham is actually intrigued. He asks if Sanji possesses Haoshoku Haki, Conqueror's Haki, because according to him, only a power like that could possibly defeat them. A split second later, Killingham attacks with his trident. Sanji gets blasted back, crashing into a giant house. In the middle of the pain, Sanji remembers a deep conversation he had with Skopper Gaban. Back then, Gaban questioned Zoro's capability as a Yonko's right-hand man. Then, Sanji confidently asked if he himself also had the potential for Haoshoku Haki. Gaban's answer was super interesting. He told Sanji that he definitely has the potential. But there's one massive problem holding him back. Sanji holds on to a very dangerous inferiority complex. Gaban believed that if Sanji truly wanted to help Luffy become the Pirate King, then he also had to become a king in his own right. That advice echoes in Sanji's head as he faces down Killingham. Meanwhile, the main event cuts back to Luffy and Imu. Now, Gear 5 Luffy is standing completely face-to-face with the highest ruler of the world. Imu looks straight at Luffy and actually calls him Joyboy, stating that he has finally reappeared. But Luffy instantly shuts that down. He totally refuses to be called anyone else's name but his own. To him, he isn't Joyboy, he is Monkey D. Luffy, the man who will one day become the king of the pirates. And with that unbreakable will, the biggest battle in Elbaf kicks off once again. Now, there is a super interesting detail here we have to talk about. Imu calls Luffy's Gear 5 form Joyboy, not Nika. This is totally different from when Imu called Loki's dragon form Needhog, rather than the person who ate the devil fruit 800 years ago. What does this mean? Yep, Luffy's figure really is exactly like Joyboy. Whether Oda planned this all along or it's just a crazy coincidence, it is mind-blowing. Check this out. The Japanese voice actor for Joyboy, Urara Takano, was actually the very first voice actor for Monkey D. Luffy in the original OVA, Defeat Him, the Pirate Ganzak. And it gets crazier. The English voice actor for Joyboy, Erica Schroeder, was Luffy's first American voice actor in the 4Kids dub. Are Luffy and Joyboy the exact same person, or is Luffy just in the same bloodline, inheriting Joyboy's sheer will? The final page of the chapter drops the epic English text, Saint Nerona Imu vs Monkey D. Luffy. And the best part? No break next week. What did you guys think of this insane chapter? Are we finally about to see Sanji unleash Conqueror's Haki? And what is the real connection between Luffy and Joyboy? Drop your craziest theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss another One Piece update. See you in the next one!